Hello everybody, Xanathar here, and today I am doing a review of episode 25 of the English dub of Ultraman Z. Let's talk about the characters. Let's talk about Haruki. Haruki pilots King Joe and he wants to save Yoko. And Haruki armwrenches Yoko and actually wins. Then he says, well, I guess he has to marry her. But his reaction is a bit funny to me because it seems like you really don't want to get married to her.
Hey, what are you crying about?
I don't want to get married. I'm scared of the mint. Eventually transforming into Ultraman Z and battering Jujutsu and defeating him. Eventually leaving Earth, saying goodbye to his friends.
Leaving, huh? We're gonna miss you, man.
Wait a minute, why are you leaving? Didn't you say you were gonna marry her? Are you leaving because of that?
Wait, how do you know that? Haruki is really good in this episode. Now it's talked about Judlo. Judlo leads stores to get their base bat and then he reveals himself he's an Ainoan to his members. And it's a really cool scene. Haruki and Judlo have a pretty nice scene where Haruki asks Judlo can he trust him. And we see Judlo pilot Windam. Honestly, it's really cool to see him pilot. And Judlo gets into his suit and hunts down Bro, and then eventually saying goodbye to Yuka. Judlo is absolutely amazing, so awesome in this episode, and he's just a great character, and a great captain. Let's talk about Daddy Bako! Bako is absolutely amazing in this episode. It's super cool to see him pilot Sevenger, fight with Judlo and Haruki. Now let's talk about Yoko. What I said, she armwrenches Haruki and lose for the first time, and is a nice scene. Especially it's nice because of the enemies of Haruki, and thanks to Haruki, she's able to unmerge with Bro. Now let's talk about Yuka. I think this is really funny, the fact that she wants a hair sample and a skin sample from Judlo when she finds out he's an Ainoan. And she's trying to look for where Yoko is. It's a pretty intense scene, honestly. Eventually she does find her and she's able to help save her. And she captures Bro and is all ready to dissect him, saying goodbye to Judlo. And now let's talk about Betterot. Betterot sacrificed himself and says goodbye to Haruki and Zet. But then to get revealed, he's fine because he's immortal. And he goes off with Haruki and Zet. So the characters in this episode are really good. So many emotional, intense scenes with the characters, especially seeing them all chill for Ultraman Z is such a nice scene, and I really enjoy the characters in this episode. Now let's talk about the dubbing. Zeno Robinson, the voice actor for Haruki, is doing such a great job in this episode. This is his final episode as Haruki, and he is putting his all in this episode, screaming "Okay!" and "Zet!" and doing such a great job with these emotional scenes. Matt Shipman, the voice of Ultraman Z, really love this character so very much, and he is just great in this episode. And Mitt Loward is amazing in this episode as Judlo. So many cool scenes and so many great lines in this episode. And Maddie Rodat, the voice actress for Yoko, is doing an amazing job in this episode. So many touching emotional scenes with Zena Robson, the voice actor for Haruki. And Macy Ann Johnson, the voice actress for Yuka, is doing an amazing job in this episode, doing so well with these emotional scenes with her character. And Kent Williams, voice actor for Bako, does such a great job in this episode. He is just so cool. And Patrick Seitz, the voice actor for Betterot, does an amazing job in this episode. So the dubbing in this episode is absolutely amazing. This dubcast really love these characters and really had a fun time doing this show, and I'm just gonna miss hearing their performances. Now let's talk about the effects. It is really cool to see Sevenger, Windam, and King Joe all team up. That was an awesome scene. Especially seeing Sevenger get a drill arm. That was really cool. I really love when Zet transformed into Dr. Rice Claw and you see Belial, Jeed, and Zero. That was just really cool. And even the falling scene was quite cool, honestly. And the final fight scene is a really good fight scene. So the effects in this episode is really good. What is my criticisms for this episode? Now, a criticism I used to have, and I don't really have anymore, is I didn't really like the forced romance with Haruki and Yoko, but with my second rewatch, I actually do think it's quite sweet and pretty nice to watch. What do I like about this episode? I love the Judlo reveal scene in this episode. It's so cool seeing him fight the guards and everything. I really enjoyed that. And I really like the fact Ultraman Z is able to defeat Jabalis in his original form without fusions, because he lost with his form in the first episode. And in the last episode, he's able to defeat the Big Bad Monster in this form. And I just think that's very fitting and awesome. What is my final thoughts for episode 25 of Ultraman Z? This episode is absolutely fantastic. This episode is just super tense, super emotional, and just a great final episode of Ultraman. Well, that is it for this review, and I just want to say thank you for watching all these episode reviews, leaving comments on them, dropping likes for them. Really appreciate it so very much. I had to say, this episode review series was probably the most fun I had on episode review series. Tell me down below what you think of this episode, and if you like this video, drop a like for this video. If you're new, subscribe. Xanathar is out.